Austin, so you get the ball and kind of quickly attack the rim, and tough finish, and you go up. You know they don't have any timeouts to advance. What's just like processing the emotional swing of maybe most likely having a game-winning bucket, kind of like the one in Golden State, and then seeing the ball go through for Chicago.
We drew up a good play. I got a good look, made it, and then just trying to keep the ball in front. You don't want them to throw a ball to half to where they can get close to the 3-point line for a three, and we did a pretty good job of that. They threw it back to Gideon. He made the shot. I mean, we won on a buzzer beater last night. Tip your hat. I mean, he made a hell of a shot.
The replay showed your ankle rolls pretty good there. LeBron said this is just something they expect, though. They know you're tough as nails. But how do you mentally kind of and physically push through that to go out and still play after that kind of thing?
You just want to be there for my teammates. It's not the first time I've rolled my ankle. Probably won't be the last. And I like playing. I like being in the game to be able to kind of control the game. And if I sit out with it, I can't play. Then I'm not able to control what I want to. So just try to forget about it and focus on trying to win.
You've got Luka Doncic and LeBron James out there, and I don't know if the play was called specifically for you, like in that kind of a sense. What kind of continued confidence does that keep building as you continue on your career for plays like that?
A lot. I mean, like you said, LeBron's arguably the greatest player ever, and Luka's they're gonna go down as one of the best players to ever play as well. So I've said it many a times. I've barely got my foot in the league, and just trying to take advantage of all the opportunities, and they trusted me in that moment, and I just want to go try to be successful for them.
LeBron took responsibility for the turnover on the inbounds when Giddey stole it. It looked like he was trying to find you. He mentioned maybe there's some miscommunication. Just kind of how'd you see that play unfold that led to the white through?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were walking out, huddle, and they was like, if we could get it in quick, to me and Bron, get it in quick, we knew they were going to trap and try to force a turnover, but then eventually they had to foul, so, I wanted to get the ball, go to the free throw line. I think the miscommunication might have been I was trying to hold him off instead of popping to the ball. I take just as much responsibility as I'm sure he did. So, hopefully we'll talk about it and figure it out so next time that won't happen.
Well, LeBron, kind of the direct opposite feeling of last night. How do you process those last couple seconds?
We put ourselves in position to win. Gave up a lot of threes in the fourth quarter. But still put ourselves in position to win. Horrible turnover by myself. Bad miscommunication. Play before that. And, AR still hit a big bucket, try to save us. And then, tip your hat if someone makes a game winner from half court.
What's the kind of the proper way to, I know you just contextualized this game specifically, but what's the proper way to deal with the emotion on this side, relative to last night?
There's another game in 2 days, or less than 2 days. That's how you do it.
These last, I guess, both fourth quarters, there have just been these kind of wild swings where you go on a big run. Pacers return it. Same thing tonight with Chicago. What have you thought of that and kind of how that's happening?
We can't give up 40 plus. We gave up 32 in the first quarter, and then we played great ball from there on. 26 in the second, 17 in the third. We give up 44. You're not going. No matter how many points you have, it's going to be just not good ingredients for success.
How much of the fourth quarter do you think was just like unreal hot shooting from them, and how much of it was defensive sort of maybe intensity?
Listen, had 19 threes once again. They've been shooting the piss out the balls of late. The statistics doesn't show for the season, but they've been cashing. I thought, we put ourselves in position to win. We just didn't win it.
The last thing you guys want to do is foul Giddy in that situation. You and Austin did kind of run at him at least. Is that kind of all you can do in that situation?
Yeah.
Good to remind us that this is the third time you guys have had almost like this. The Orlando one in Atlanta. You mentioned you guys do have another game in 2 days. What's the key to not letting the emotions of tonight carry over into Saturday?
That's the NBA. That's the NBA. You can't go into a game on Saturday thinking about what happened on Thursday.
What did you see defensively in the second and third quarter?
We were in tune with the game plan. We executed. I thought we played well enough to win, obviously, but we didn't cash in.
At this stage of the season, is it difficult to keep like the focus on small picture stuff? I mean, there's obviously really big picture stuff coming pretty quickly in terms of the postseason. Is it tough to just focus on the next 48 minutes?
No.
Is that what needs to happen?
That's what's been happening.
Last two.
In the larger context of things, that there's still not a ton of games that you guys have all played together, and JJ said the offense could come down to the comfort factor between you, Austin, and Luka. To see Austin perform late game situation tonight, does that help the process? Between the three of you, just getting those reps and seeing.
It was great that we executed. JJ drew up a play and we executed that. So. That's great in-game execution.
Last question.
I know you kind of expect this from Austin, but he turns the ankle, but kind of stays in, makes a couple key plays. Is that just what you know about him?
Yeah, AR, he's tough as nails. So his game is he's great. Happy that he continues to make strides in his career, and I've been seeing it the whole time, the whole way I've been along with him the whole ride. So it's been awesome.
Thanks, LJ.
Luka, I guess, just to start, you guys have had a pretty crazy 24 hours. You guys obviously get the game winner from LeBron in Indy. Opposite side of it, just emotionally, what's that like, and what was the locker room like post-game?
It's hard to lose like that. We had basically had the game in hand, and when you lose like this, it's hard, especially on back-to-back. When I think we fall hard, it's hard to lose like that.
Speaking with JJ, you guys have another game in 2 days. He said you guys aren't in positions to feel sorry for yourselves. What's the key to making sure that the emotions of the past 24 hours, the letdown, doesn't bleed over into Saturday's game against Memphis to close out the road trip?
No, I don't think it's about feeling sorry for ourselves. Just the way we lost. Like I said, we basically had the ball. The game in hand. So it's just the way we lost. But that's sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing in the NBA. That 1 or 2 days you have a nice game.
Luka, you're obviously a fierce competitor. How do you process the highs and the lows? Like, is it when you get back to the hotel? Are you able to erase it the next day? Does it stick with you till the next game?
I don't know. Depends on the game.
Like this, where it seems like you got it and then they hit a buzzer beater.
It's like the one I had in Cleveland last year, which was even a crazier shot. It was 3 quarters, so just gotta process it. It's a tough way to lose, but it is what it is.
Max Reaves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's 3 quarter shot. It's crazy.
What do you take out of the team that does seem to be getting closer to where you guys have been? Rui doesn't play tonight, but was big last night. LeBron getting more into shape. Do you kind of feel it coming?
Yeah, like I said, I think our third quarter weren't good. So today, I think we had to show that our third quarter needs to be better. But then we relax in the fourth quarter. So we just got to play the game for 48 minutes. If we play all 48 minutes with the same energy, we're hard to beat.
Luka, tvoja izvanredna igra, prosto nevjerovatno da ovo nije bilo pobjeda za Lakers-e. Kako si doživio ovu utakmicu?
Teško izgubiti takvu utakmicu. Nevjerovatan šut, ali teško je.
Da li to je nešto što ne može da se predvidi ili da kažem u zadnjim sekundima se rešava? Šta očekuješ od Grizzliesa sljedeće utakmice u subotu?
Ne znam, još nisam tamo, tako da sutra ću se fokusirati na Memphis.
Da li su Bullsi iznenadili inače na još neki način? Kakvi su bili kao tim? Ili su bili težak tim?
Težak tim. Već smo igrali s njim 2 puta sad, tako da je vrlo teško igrati protiv njih.
What did you see defensively in the second and third quarter that was working for you guys? It felt like that was the best defensive stretch you guys have had in several games.
Yeah, I think third quarter was our best defensive quarter. Just everybody was flying around, everybody with a lot of energy. And like I said, we need to play 48 minutes like that.
Still hasn't been a lot of games with you, Austin, and LeBron on the floor together. You've talked about how important it is for you guys to find your collective rhythm for the team to play at its best offensively. I guess, was there encouragements that you could take from tonight, especially with Austin being able to go off the way he did, getting 30 and even getting the go-ahead bucket before he get his shot?
Yeah, I mean, he's great every game. We got to figure out how to play all three together. You guys ask me this question every game after every game, but we're just trying to figure out. We don't have a lot of practice, but I think it's coming.
I guess what's the immediate reaction from that?
Devastation. It's a hell of a way to lose a basketball game.
Breaking it down a little further, so up 5 with about 12 left, and they get the quick 3. I think you did have the timeout. Would you wanted to take timeout to advance the ball there? Or
No, not necessarily. I don't want to put yourself in that. I mean, if I had 2, I would have taken it automatically. Felt super comfortable with the lineup we had out there to get the ball in, and we just didn't execute it. Still had, I think, time to call the timeout, but I think in that situation, the thought process was, get it in if we can. If not, call a timeout.
2 straight nights were kind of similar games in some ways, where you have control and there are these big runs in short amounts of times. Where did you see any through line defensively about kind of not being able to get stops at certain moments, or?
I mean, they shot 11 of 14 from 3. I mean, that's 11 of 14 in an empty gym is really good. So that's unreal shooting.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fourth,
Yeah.
Defensively, you guys in the second and third quarter had whatever that kind of thing was that had been missing at times. Did you see, obviously, hot shooting is hot shooting, but earlier in that fourth quarter, did you see let up in any way from your team in terms of execution?
No. I mean, you got to figure, too, 3-on-1 Kobe White transition 3, a 3-on-2 Kobe White transition 3. I mean, in the half court, we were great.
It could get lost in the result, but we've talked about the balance between LeBron, Luka, and Austin trying to figure things out. And what do you make of Austin and his ability to make plays down the stretch and kind of having the ball in his hands and executing?
Yeah, he was phenomenal tonight. I thought all 3 of those guys were great. And, I think for Luka, LeBron, AR, those 3, it's not just the points and the plays, it's their leadership. They were great. They were great on that end tonight.
Earlier this season, you guys suffered a gut punch loss to the Magic at home, and it hit you guys in a way. Like, it seemed like afterwards there was like ramifications from that. Is that something you're going to recall too at all in terms of, obviously it's a different team and a different group, but the way you guys kind of manage that?
I mean, it's the third one. It's the third one because the Atlanta game too. We had that game won. So it's there's games. There's games throughout the year that happen like that, I think, to every team. And you can look back, oh, we should have done this, should have done that. We got one last night at Indy. We lost in a half-court shot. I thought, overall, outside of a couple plays, the execution, the shots we were getting, it was good.
How do you, kind of to Dan's question, how do you make sure that there's no emotional, carryover from these last 2 nights going into Saturday's game against Memphis?
We're not in a position to feel sorry for ourselves.
It was Jackson tonight, and he got the tip in late, and it just felt like, anytime they were shifting away from him, he got a basket.
Yeah, he was really good on the offensive end. I thought his poise on some of his catches where, obviously the lobs are one thing, but just catching it, whether it was in the pocket or on dump-off passes, not rushing. First jump hook of his career. Was really happy to see that. But no, he was great. And then I thought as the game went on, and particularly late in the fourth quarter, the adjustment without playing with his hands and just playing with his hands back, he was able to draw that charge on Kobe White. So he was great.
Thanks, Coach.